I want to welcome Dr. Lowel Kabnick. Dr. Lowel Kabnick is going to be running the Venous workshop, the hands-on workshop at the Venous session at the VEITH meeting on November 15th, 2023, here in New York City. So, Dr. Kabnick, what is this Venous hands-on session?
Dr. Hingorani, this session has been going on for at least 10 years now, and it's morphed into an afternoon affair. It'll be on Wednesday, as you said, and it'll start approximately at 1:45 and go all the way to 6. It's packed full of information and hands-on. And the course will start out with an introduction by me to make things really interactive. And that's the purpose of this is for our key opinion leaders, which are chock full of our colleagues that have been experiencing these procedures for a number of years. And it'll start off with a video session, and it'll go through things like superficial disease. Specifically, we're going to be looking at Varithena, Venclose RF, Maven for perforators. We'll be looking at lightning from Penumbra, and from Inari, we'll be looking at FlowTriever. There's a new entity, Surmotics, that has a new device that's called the Pounce for Venus, and that'll be interesting for us to understand. And then after that, there'll be comments by the panel, because this will be case presentations and how they've utilized these devices. And then following that, there'll be an hour session of hands-on by the industry, where you'll be able to approach their models and actually try the devices. Following that, we have 8 cases that are going to be discussed, ranging again from superficial to actually deep and cosmetic phlebology or aesthetic phlebology. So superficial will encompass 2. Deep will be split up into acute and chronic. Acute will be 2 cases of acute DVT, 2 cases of chronic obstructive disease, and then 2 cases of aesthetic phlebology.
Wow, you really cover the gamut. That sounds great, especially with the new technology that's coming up. I really like the fact that you get to try these out and put your hands on them, especially the new technologies that some people may have not have tried yet. So industry will be there also, along with some of the key opinion leaders and some of the experts.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting is everybody that's talking is always available for one-on-one questions there. And that's what makes it exciting, because it's time for our younger people, or even some of the advanced people who have questions that they may not have realized certain things. I always learn from these myself of different approaches. So it's really kind of an integration of all different types of information. And that's what makes it beautiful. And it's going to be rapid fire in terms of a VEITH program.
I like the idea of also having not only the key opinion leaders there, but having clinical case presentations, because we're all clinicians and we want to hear about how we can use these technologies in our daily practice. So I think having it clinically oriented is key, not just here's my last 1,000 or 200 or whatever X cases, and here are the complications and everything's great, but having it really hands-on, very, very clinically oriented in terms of case presentations really makes it very useful and brings it down to earth.
So these are experts in their field that are presenting, and then the panel is also experts. And as you know, there's often disagreement, and that's what makes it fun. So I'm looking forward to a really interactive session. And then the audience also can chime in. There'll be microphones out there. Dr. Wakefield, who's the co-director of this, as well as myself, will be running around the audience asking questions as well. So it'll be quite lively.
Excellent. So who should be attending this particular session?
It's kind of interesting in how this is played out. So it is for really from anywhere from beginning to advanced because all of the subjects are covered. And so it's a wide audience.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So something for some of the new trainees also, they could learn quite a bit in terms of trying these new techniques and new ideas and new tools.
Absolutely. And also to understand how some of us are thinking and changes and potential changes for the future, etc., as they go through the cases. So you'll hear a lot of discussion, and that's how it's phrased. So the case presentations really are case presentations, and then the panel will weigh in what would they do and why. And then the case presenter will say what they did, and then there'll be some lively discussion. The video presentations will actually be cases, and then the key opinion leaders will then comment.
Excellent. That sounds really, really good. So again, this is going to be on November 15th, Wednesday, 2023 at VEITH in New York City. Looking forward to the session.
I'm looking forward to seeing you. And Dr. Hingorani will also be there, and he will be a moderator of one of the sessions. So thank you, Dr. Hingorani, for agreeing. By the way, he hasn't yet.
Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot.